DreamWorks recently released their first live action film to one of their animated movies, How to Train Your Dragon. Could Pixar do it? Let's see potential Pixar live action remakes. Hey movie watchers, thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Pixar, they make some great animated movies, and with DreamWorks now making some live action films to their animated movies, thought, hey, maybe Pixar should join in on this. Last year, Peter Docter said that they had no plans for any live action remakes. They like making movies that are original and unique to themselves. But there is still potential for some good live action films. Pixar is very unique with their animated films. They are beautifully done, and so it would be hard to translate that to a live action film. I do think that you would lose some of the charm, but there are potential for some pretty good live action remakes. I'm going off of ones that have a nice balance of human characters and fantasy elements to it. I don't think that any of these would be as good as the original animated film. And these aren't some of the most popular Pixar films, just finding that nice balance between everything. One that would easily work is The Incredibles. This is probably the best one that would fit into a live action film. I think even having Brad Bird return to direct the film, or even Sean Levy, who's directed a lot of family fun films. And the Russo brothers have proved that they work well when it comes to superhero movies. When it's outside of that superhero realm, not so much. But I think that The Incredibles and The Incredibles 2 would be a nice live action remake, really focusing on the family dynamics and the big action scenes. Curious how you would handle Jack Jack as a baby. Would you have everybody else just be human characters and then Jack Jack be CGI, or have it to be where he's a little bit older so you could have a younger kid in the film that could work alongside the cast? But this is just perfect for a live action remake. The suits could be really well done. You could have a lot of action, maybe implement some more action scenes throughout. And after testing some other live action remakes, go ahead and do The Incredibles 2. It's perfect for a live action remake. You got human characters, big action scenes. You're just kind of typical superhero vibe to it all. Could be a lot of fun. Ratatouille would also have some potential to be a live action film. You got the nice balance of human characters and the rats within this movie. Very similar to How to Train Your Dragon, human characters and dragons, and how they have that odd relationship. You would have your human cast, and then you would have the CGI rats in here. I do think that it would kind of run into the Lion King problem. You have the realistic rats, but when they're talking to each other, you wouldn't be able to capture the emotions that they have or the personality so much to the characters. So you're really kind of preventing that emotional connection that you would have for Remy and seeing him develop as a character if you make him look like an actual rat. But since it does have human characters and rats, I do think that it could work. Elegant city, nice vibes to it. It has potential to be a live action remake. I don't think it'd be the best one. There would be enough elements if they ever wanted to do live action remakes. I think Ratatouille would be a fun one. Lightyear is another one that would work. Now, Lightyear wasn't the most popular Pixar film and wasn't the most successful one either, but there is potential to do a live action remake. A nice sci-fi adventure. Human characters with suits to them going off in the space and just exploring all the elements to that. I really did like Lightyear. I thought it was a fun movie. Gareth Edwards, who's worked with Disney before on Rogue One, would be a great pick for a director, more of a grounded sci-fi approach. I also like the idea of Joseph Kosinski, who directed Top Gun Maverick and F1 Tron Legacy. Sleek visual designs that could work within this film. Like I said, I don't think would be one that they would immediately jump to have a live action remake. They would probably do some more of their earlier films, but I do think that there's potential for Lightyear to be a live action remake if they ever wanted to do one. I don't think they ever will do live action remakes, but Lightyear, it would be fun. Nice space adventure. The comedy is in there. There's Socks as a character. You could already do like an animatronic to it all. Would really be a lot of fun. It's a fun movie, not their best, but I think that'd be fun in a live action form. Brave is another one that makes a lot of sense to have a live action remake. Nice amount of human characters and animals. You would have a bear, CGI, obviously, and I think it would add a lot more of fear to the movie. More haunting moments that you could capture with that relationship between Merida and her mother, especially at the end with the other bear as well. That you could have for more striking sequences throughout. I think David Lowery would be a great pick. I love what he did with Peter Pan and Wendy and Pete's Dragon. Forest setting, that atmosphere that he created in those films, I feel like would match Brave very easily. I think you could take more of a grounded approach, a more mature kind of tone to it all. Not really so much comedy and lighthearted moments, just kind of similar to Pete's Dragon would really work for this movie. I like Brave. I think it is a fun Pixar film, not the best one that they created, but there's enough in here to warrant a live action remake if they ever went down that route. I also think Luca would be a fun Pixar live action remake. It's one of the more recent ones, so it wouldn't be the one that they would immediately jump to, but it's got that fun combination of human characters and them turning into sea monsters. The setting is quite simple on the Italian Riviera, and you could just have some elegant scenes with that. I would go with the Italian director Luca Guadagnino. You could really focus on the culture and the look of it all. And he's dealt with films that really focus on relationships in the past. It could be a sleek looking film that would focus a lot on the sea monsters, but also that emotional connection to characters and the Italian culture as well that they could focus on would be a great advantage for this movie. It is one that every time I watch, I appreciate it just a little more, and I would love to see a live action remake. Before I share my last pick, leave your list down below. What films would you like to see be made into a live action remake? Now, I know that people are against live action remakes, and I don't think that Pixar should just like jump the gun and start making live action movies, but these are potential, and this is just a lot of fun to come up with these ideas. The last one I think that would be fun for a live action film would be Up. A lot of emotion to these characters. The opening sequence right in itself is just very touching and emotional, just lays the foundation for the entire film. Mark Foster, who directed Christopher Robin, could direct this film. He has this gentle approach to his films, and he really could understand the emotional level for this film. I think he could also balance the imaginative storyline within this film. The fantasy adventure with Carl and Russell on the house, I think he could handle quite well. Don't know how they would handle Doug. Very similar to Remy in Ratatouille. Do you take a CGI dog and ruin all of the emotions that Doug has because Doug is such a upbeat character in Up? Or do you make it look like a cartoon within that film? But there is a lot of potential for a live action remake of Up and just really focusing on the human emotions within that film, but also balancing that fantasy adventure within it. So there you guys have it, Pixar live action remake ideas. I don't think that Pixar should be jumping the gun and start doing live action remakes, but if they ever entertain the idea, I think that these would be ones that they should go for. Leave your list down below. What ones have potential to be a live action remake? And stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.